Dear fellow Canadians, our nation's TV news stations and newspapers are a bunch of nutless, loser liberal suck-ups. And right now, they're actively covering up and ignoring the fact that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been swept up in the Me Too movement. Weird you're not hearing more about this, right? Trudeau is accused of groping a female journalist in August 2000. The reporter was in her early 20s at the time and worked for a newspaper in BC called the Creston Valley Advance. The story goes that she met Trudeau while covering a music festival he was attending in her area, and during that encounter, he groped her. Co-workers say when the woman returned to work, she appeared distressed, and she reported the incident immediately to her supervisor. The incident is so well documented, in mid-August of that year, the paper she worked for even published an editorial accusing Trudeau of being a groper. And get this, the editorial even included an apology from Trudeau. He said, quote, "I'm sorry. If I had known you were reporting for a national paper, I never would have been so forward." Wow, that is some excuse. He's really just saying he's sorry he got caught. He never even denies groping her. All of this is 18 years ago. Now fast forward to 2018 and the Me Too movement, and our media seems happy to ignore this groping claim. Worse yet, look at this recent National Post article basically downplaying Trudeau's actions and defending him. The author's reasoning for the headline is this: it's not clear that the allegation fits the template Me Too, because it so often has exposed a pattern of inappropriate behavior towards women by a man in a position of power. The Post is not aware of any other such allegations against Trudeau. So you need a history of sexual misconduct to make it legitimate? What kind of logic is that? They argue that because Trudeau is a feminist, he's thoughtful and respectful towards women. He would never do such a thing. Because we know the other loud and proud male feminists have never committed sexual assault, right? The authors even go as far to elicit sympathy for Trudeau, writing, quote, "At the time, he was still a teacher in Vancouver. The death of his father, former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, was still nearly 2 months away." As if this somehow is relevant to the allegation. They even try to subtly discredit the allegation by bringing up discrepancies in the timeline and interviewing the festival's female PR agent, only to find out that she says Trudeau was, quote, "an excellent guest. He met a lot of people. He was very generous with the crowd." Oh, so I guess her experience represents everyone's, right? The National Post even admits that although international publications picked up the Trudeau groping story, they refrained because, quote, they were in the process of authenticating the allegation and researching its author and context. Really? Aren't they the same paper that's been publishing Trump sexual assault allegations? I didn't see them working overtime to authenticate those claims. Or how about the ones closer to home, like Patrick Brown? By the way, it turned out those allegations against Brown were false, and now CTV has been hit with an $8 million lawsuit. Or what about the Paul Bliss sexual misconduct allegations? National Post was quick to publish that story without authenticating the claim. Seems they have different standards for Trudeau. I could go on about this disgusting piece of apologist fluff masquerading as journalism, but what's the point? The entire article is a shining example of the rampant hypocrisy that is Canadian mainstream media. Just imagine if the groping allegation was against Stephen Harper or Doug Ford. How different would the coverage be? I can tell you for certain the story wouldn't be buried, just the opposite. It would likely be front page news, and there certainly wouldn't be any apologist type articles. The media's silence speaks not only to their over-the-top liberal bias, but also their unwillingness to rock the boat with the Prime Minister. Why? Perhaps it's because struggling media outlets are less inclined to attack Trudeau, given that he has a plan to give them millions in potential bailouts. Or it could be that liberal propagandists, journalists, get rewarded with plum Senate positions if they toe the line with the PM. So here's the deal. The story is still very much alive. The PMO's office even released a statement about it earlier this month. It says Trudeau does not recall any negative interactions during his visit to Creston that year. It's the classic "I don't recall" defense, even though he already apologized for his groping back in August 2000. The truth is, every honorable journalist in Canada should be all over this. But instead, all you have is me on my couch with my newborn in my lap talking about it on YouTube. How sad is that? So what do you think about these Trudeau groping allegations? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, thank you so much to my patrons. If you are interested in donating to my channel, the links are in the description below. Have yourself a great day.